Hello everybody, my name is Nerdy Lover and welcome back to another episode of our football betting series here on YouTube World Cup Edition. December seems to be the month for us as we are 3 and 4 in our last 4 selections. With the exception of Croatia, we have won all of our bets, as we can see on the screen. Without further ado, let's get into the quarterfinal prediction where we do have a selection for each of the 4 matches, as we kick things off with Croatia versus Brazil. And we do start with the favourites. Number 1 ranked Brazil playing 12th place Croatia. And Croatia drew their last game against Japan in 90 minutes, winning the round on penalties. A game in which the Croats had 60% of the ball and slightly edged the Japanese on shots. However, they did give up a worrying 3 key chances in that 90 minutes. And on average, Croatia scored just 1.3 goals per game from an impressive 2.3 key chances created per 90. They are only good enough for an XG of 1.32, which is in line with their production. Defensively, they've been doing pretty well. 0.5 goals against per 90 with 2 clean sheets in 4 in the World Cup. That's 50% of their games. Brazil are the opposition today, and they brushed Korea aside by 4-1, killing off the game after 13 minutes with a penalty converted by Neymar. Brazil are averaging 1.8 goals per game from a very impressive 3.8 key chances created per 90, and actually underperforming their XG of 2.39. Defence is just as strong as Croatia with 0.5 goals against per 90 and 2 clean sheets in 4. There is a word of caution though with Brazil's defence, as they have conceded in each of their last 2 games against Cameroon and Korea. Perhaps a little bit of fatigue and complacency for an ageing Brazilian back line. Now the stats do lean us more towards Brazil, as they do create 1.5 key chances per 90 more than Croatia, and they have recorded an average of 1.07 XG more than the Croats. Due to Croatia's solid defence, I would not like to take Brazil on the Asian handicap as we did against Korea in the last round. Brazil are a little bit short on the money line of odds of 1.4 on the exchange, so I may wait until the second half to back Brazil outright if they appear to be in control of the game. But if we do look at the group games and we do ignore the outlier of the Korea match, Brazil have seen a scoreline of 0-0 in each of their group stage matches, and I wonder if it may be worth a little sprinkle on taking draw at halftime, Brazil full-time, as we can get odds of just over 3-1 here. That's the bet that I'm going to take. I'm going to take draw halftime, Brazil full-time for a half stake of £10 at just better than 3-1. Next up, the second quarterfinal sees 8th ranked Holland versus 3rd ranked Argentina. And Holland won their round of 16 match against the United States of America by 3-1. Now, despite a strong showing on the scoreline, the Dutch did have less of the ball, less shots in total, and less shots on target. They also gave up 3 key chances across the 90 minutes. Holland have appeared to have the same issue all throughout the tournament of a slow tempo and struggling to create a high number of quality chances. This statement is corroborated by looking at the statistics, and despite the Dutch scoring 2 goals per game, they are outperforming their 1.7 key chances created per 90, and they are almost doubling their XG of 1.05. I think it has been the defence that have saved the Dutch's blushes, with Van Dijk leading a solid stat line of 0.5 goals against per 90, and they have conceded in only 2 of their 4 games. The Dutch are converting a disproportionate amount of their poor chances created. The Orange are outperforming their XG by almost double. They do not pass the eye test in this tournament. When we compare that to Argentina, who got to this stage in the round of 16 following their 2-1 victory against Australia, the scoreline does add a bit more respect to Australia, as Enzo Fernandez did unfortunately score an own goal when the game was all but over in the 77th minute at 2-0. The Argentinians score on average 1.8 goals per game from 3 key chances created per 90, and they have actually underperformed their XG of 2.00. Defence is slightly worse than Holland, but still kind of alright. 0.8 goals against and 2 clean sheets in their 4 matches. The Argentinians have scored twice in each of their last 3 games, and as I said, slightly underperforming their XG, so we have room to grow on the goal-scoring front. The Dutch are a side who are outperforming their XG against an Argentinian side who are underperforming their XG. So this would build a case to lean towards Argentina. When we look at the head-to-head records, these sides have faced each other infrequently, but they did play in both the Italian and Brazilian World Cups, drawing on both occasions 0-0. With this in mind and the Dutch's strong defensive record, I would be inclined to take Argentina to qualify at the slightly shorter price of 1.64. If you think Argentina can win in 90 minutes, there is a very tempting 3/2 or 2.56 on the exchange at time of recording. I'm not quite as confident that Argentina can get it done within 90 minutes, so I'll be taking the more conservative option, Argentina to qualify at 1.64. Quarterfinal number 3 sees 22nd ranked Morocco playing 9th ranked Portugal, and it's been Morocco's defence that have held strong against wave after wave of Spanish attacks in their round of 16 match. Despite allowing the Spaniards 77% of the ball and over 1,000 passes throughout the 120 minutes, Morocco held Spain to just one shot on target across the entire affair. Morocco then triumphed on penalties by 3-0 to face the other Iberian side. Morocco are unbeaten in each of their last 10 competitive matches and hold a lot of sides to few goals. 6 of their last 7 have seen under 2.5 goals. In this World Cup, Morocco are scoring 1 goal per game from 0.8 key chances per 90, and they're overperforming their XG of 0.76. Defence, as I said, have been the hallmark in which this Moroccan side has built their campaign on. 3 clean sheets in their 4 matches and conceding just the 1 goal for 0.3 per 90. Portugal, on the other hand, eased their way past Switzerland with a stunning 6-1 victory. Despite benching Ronaldo at the start of the game, it was Gonçalo Ramos who stepped up to score a hat-trick in his first World Cup start. The Portuguese averaged 3 goals per game from a very strong 3.3 key chances created per 90. They are overperforming their XG, which is still pretty strong, 1.71. Defence, slightly less convincing though. 1.3 goals against and just 1 clean sheet in their 4 matches. With not much of a head-to-head to go... There's not much of a head-to-head to go off between these two nations. However, they did meet in the group stages in Russia, and Portugal won that game by 1-0. We have a classic defensive side who are making their chances count at the other end, and against a nation who are creating a lot of chances and creating a lot of goals, but they're not as tight at the back. I feel that Portugal would be much more direct than Spain would. I feel that Portugal would be more direct than Spain had been in the previous encounter, and they have no qualms with shooting from range. Portugal in a single at 7/10 or 1.71 on the exchange is the move for us. Saving the best to last, the 4th and final quarterfinal match sees 5th ranked England playing 4th ranked France, and despite a slow start, England turned on the style, winning in comfortable fashion against Senegal by 3-0 in the round of 16. And despite hitting 7 goals against Costa Rica, it was not Spain but England who finished as the group stage top goal scorers, and following Portugal's 6 goals against Switzerland, England are now the joint highest goal scorers of the remaining 8 nations. The English score 3 goals per game from 2.8 key chances per 90, but their XG is, it's only 1.59. What can we read into this? England are scoring much more than we would expect, purely from a stat-driven analysis. They score almost twice as many goals than are going in. They score almost twice as many goals than are expected to go in. England are converting a number of low-value shots in their wins so far this tournament. England's defence has been pretty strong, conceding just 0.5 goals per 90, and with 3 clean sheets in their last 4 and 3 in their last 3 in this competition. France are the opposition today, and they made it through to this round following their 3-1 victory against Poland, where they looked far from their best, allowing Poland almost 50% of the ball, gave away 2 key chances in the 90 minutes, resulting in an XG of 1.75 against compared to their 1.37. However, Les Bleus converted their chances, whereas Poland did not, and on average, France are scoring 2.3 goals per game from 3.3 key chances per 90. An XG rating of 2.21, which is in line with their goals scored, so we could suggest that France may be good for 2 goals in this game here. Defence for Les Bleus is not great. France concede an average of 1 goal per game, and it makes sense that they have conceded a single goal in each and every World Cup match so far. In summary, England score almost twice the amount of goals they should have scored based on the quality of chances created. However, France are just slightly outperforming their XG by 10% instead of England's 100%. France struggle to defend, however, and England do score goals. I'm not too sure they can score more than the one goal, but I would feel comfortable expecting both sides to find the back of the net in this final showdown. I think both teams to score at a price of 1.85 on the exchange is more than fair enough value, so we'll be taking that in our final selection. So there we have it, 4 games, 4 selections. Will they come true? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's to tune in to next episode. But if you have made it to this point in the video, please drop a like down below. My name's been Nerdy Lover, and as always, have yourself a lovely day.